श्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय बुद्धम् बिन्दुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाभिगता नित्यं बिन्दुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Not able to hear? Or you can keep this also. You can keep it there. You are able to hear now? Hello. Namaste. So I may have to be excused for speaking in foreign language. Maybe I can mix Tamil and English. Tamil, English, English. I am very, very pleased to be here, and I am extremely grateful for Prof, Secretary and a few others for having invited me to have a fabulous sight which I am able to see in front of me. It's rare to find such a large audience, all of you who have chanted Narayaneeyam many a times. We all know the origin of this Narayaneeyam. The author is Bhattathiri, Narayana Bhattathiri. He was student of Achyuta Pisharadi, and he learned from Achyuta Pisharadi Vyakarana Shastra. Achyuta Pisharadi has also written very important works on Jyotish Shastra. But the story as it is that his teacher was suffering and he could not take the suffering of his teacher. The sight of the suffering of his teacher could not be taken by Narayana. This is something which is a very important lesson that we need to keep in mind. Today we are living in a society where we have started a certain attitude where we care for only our feelings rather than the feelings of others. So this is something which is very important to understand. I can see that there is a slight trend because of this certain education system that we undergo. The children do not care for the sentiments of their parents. If we develop a certain attitude to care for other sentiments, then I think we will be transforming this world into a heaven. It is very important for us to learn this lesson from Narayaneeyam. The very origin of Narayaneeyam teaches us a very, very important lesson, that we need to care for others' feelings and if possible try to do as much as possible to share the grief of others. Sharing the pleasures of others is easy. Sharing the grief of others is not easy. And this is the lesson. And having prayed to Ishvara, this is another important lesson, that when we undergo various sufferings in life, sometimes we start keeping cursing, but Narayani Bhattathiri says Kashtade Srishti Cheshta Bhaktara Bhava Khedavaha Jiva Bhajam Gityevam Urvamalochitam Ajita Maya Naiva Madhyabhijane Noche Jiva Kasamva. मधुरतरमिदं त्वद्वपुश्चिद्रसाद्रं नेत्रैः श्रोत्रैश्च पीत्वा परमरससुधाम्भोधिपुरे रमेरन्. So initially I had a feeling that Kashtade, Srishti Chesta, you seem to have created the world with plenty of suffering. Kashtade, Srishti Chesta, what did you create? You could have created a very happy society, harmonious society. Kashtade, my son would have been listening to me, my daughter would have been listening to me, I would have been more happy. But that is not happening. My husband would have been little more concerned about me. See, Kashtade, Srishti Chesta, Bahutara Bhavakhedavaha. Bhava nama samsara. Bahutara khedavaha, Bhavakhedavaha. Bahutara Bhavakhedavaha. Ityevam purvam alochitam. This is how I was thinking before. Ityevam purvam alochitam ajita maya naiva madhyabhijane. Today I don't feel so. Why? Why? If at all this were not to be there, then I would not have turned my eyes towards you. So it is very important that the suffering teaches a very important lesson. That is why even Kunti prayed. Vipadas santuna shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru. May the vipat be there, so in which case I will be able to surrender myself and reduce the arrogance that I have. So this is very, very important. So the very lesson teaches us that we need to care for, and this dukkha is something which is going to be there in everybody's life. Chakravat parivartante dukkhani cha sukhani. There is nobody in this world who has been happy forever. There is nobody in this world who has been suffering forever. So this is something which we need to learn, and this is all because of our own karma. This understanding has to be there, and if you understand that it is all because of your karma, then you will not start blaming each and every individual around you for the suffering that you are undergoing. Rama never did this. If you take the entire Ramayana, Rama would never ever have hinted that Kaikeyi is responsible for my suffering. He always says, maybe I have committed some karma and therefore I am suffering. Now, what we have to understand is, it is the karma that makes us either enjoy, it is the karma that makes us either suffer. This should be very, very clear. So our talents are something, see, even talented people suffer, non-talented people they earn. So it is ultimately this bhagya, this karma. I am saying this karma because it is a very, very important karma in which we are engaged. So this satkarma is something which is very important, and this is what leads us to punya, and any other engagement that we have with our WhatsApp, with our news, etc. are going to be only passing time, and it is not something which will help us in accruing punya. So this karma we have to build, and I was so happy, but one thing which I don't agree with our previous president. So somebody was saying here, Penkutti. Why Penkutti? Ankutti will also come. See, so this all Kuttis should come. That is what it is. See, we have tremendous ability when we are young to memorize things. It is our major failure if we do not enable our children to learn. God has given this gift to memorize. Don't allow them to just keep playing with all sorts of games in various devices just because you can get those devices. So it is a shame that we are not able to make them. So take this Narayaneeyam, take any of these earlier people, did they have any device? All of them were kept in memory. So we have such a powerful memory, and the memory is not lost. And the time in which you can make people learn is between 5 and 15. So this period in which they will also listen to us, right? Beyond 50, it is very difficult. So this is the period in which you should just start at the age of 3, 4. They will just keep listening, and I can tell you there are people who have made efforts to make their children learn, and at the age of 6 they will be memorizing hundreds of verses. You don't need to take any special effort. Today all these devices have to be made use of to show this record, to make them listen to things. So if at all these devices can be used, it should be used for right purposes, rather than allowing them to just keep playing with games. And once we do that, I think we will lose this, the great opportunity that has been given to us. This Bhattatiri, he says, He roga mama yuyameva suhrudaha Yir nispruhoham kritaha tarkahalam kriti kavyako vidakatha yogeshu bhogeshu cha no chet krishna padaravinda bhajanam vedanta chintamati tyaktva shvashvaiti Ramadahamaho yamyeva yamyam padam He rogaha. This is a certain attitude that we need to develop. It is primarily the attitude which makes us take the suffering, and then even in suffering you can have pleasure. The happiness is something which can come out of suffering. He was saying satyagraha, right? So in doing that satyagraha we have a certain happiness and we are able to achieve something. It is not the dukkha which makes us. It is the purpose which actually makes us. So we have to understand. So therefore this attitude should change. Therefore he says, He rogaha. He had such an attitude, and that is a blessing of Ishvara. Guruvayappa. He rogaha mama yuyameva suhrudaha. You are my friends, oh my dear diseases. He roga mama yuyameva suhrudaha. Why? Yair nispruhoham kritaha. By which I were able to develop some sort of a dispassion. Otherwise, how was I spending time? Tarkalam kriti kavyako vidakatha yogeshu bhogeshu cha. Sometime I was just spending in trying to show my scholarship in various shastras. Sometime I was spending in enjoying what I have learned. Yogeshu bhogeshu cha. If at all this roga had not come, no chet Krishna padaravinda bhajanam vedanta chintamati. I would have completely abandoned them. Tyaktva shvashvaiti dhamadahamaho yamyeva yamyam padam. I'll tell you one thing which I'm sure many of you would know. But see, the suffering is something which is likely to put us down. Why this is happening? But when this is happening, so initially suppose you are suffering from some roga, you may go to this doctor. If you can afford, you can go to some other doctor. If you cannot afford, you will be staying here. Or if you can go to AIMS, some people will go to London, some people will go to US. But then all of them have to handle with this deha, and deha has to take care. If nothing is happening, so then we only lift our hand and then say, it is Ishvara who has to rescue us. I am telling you, there are hundreds of cases in which I have seen, the doctor will declare that this person is going to die, and therefore the son will be brought from somewhere. And this person, I am telling you, the person who was there, I just went and visited in this hospital, he was saying, no, day after I have to perform Tarpanam. So the doctor said, once we remove this, so he will all be gone. So the children came, and then this person was praying, I have to somehow come out, and then after 3 days I have to perform this Tarpanam. And this person lived for 3 years, let me tell you. So these are all things which are not in our hands. So there is a certain divine force which keeps working and which keeps driving us. So that is why this divine blessing is what is needed. So these are things which may help us, but ultimately it is that. We have to understand this. So therefore he says, Mama yuyameva suhrudaha. You have to understand it in the right spirit. Otherwise, I would have been just engaging myself all through the life, showing my lavishness and no dharma. All the accumulation that you can do, either in terms of knowledge or in terms of money or in terms of power, etc., are all limited for a certain period of time. Beyond that, that is why there is a beautiful stotra, nice sloka, Dhanani bhumau. You may earn as much as you want. Dhanani bhumau. Earlier, people were scoring inside the earth, therefore he says Dhanani bhumau. Nowadays, we can say either in stock market, or you can say some investment, or you can say something else, whatever it is, you are not going to carry with you. Dhanani bhumau. Pashavascha goshthe. Those days, people had animals. Today, you can say, I have one house here, one car here, another car here, and 5 cars there. One day, I was just traveling in business class. One person was sitting next to me. And then he said, Sir, I have a car. Each of these cars are more than 5 lakhs worth. Huh? 5 lakhs? 50 lakhs? No, 5 crores. I'm not joking. Specially designed car. I'm not joking. He was just saying. Then I said, so what? How many can you travel? How many houses can you own? They are just going to leave. Dhanani bhumau pasavascha goshthe nari grihadwari. So our wife can come up to entry of the door. Sakha smashane, friend can come up to smasana. Dehas chitayam. The deha which we are fondling all the time, chitayam paraloka marge. Who is accompanying? Dharmanugo gacchati jiva ekaha. It is the dharma that we have done which is going to be there, and it is a major dharma I am telling you this Parayanam. See, because it is something which can make us think the right way. Ultimately, when a certain situation arises, if your mind is trained to think in a right way, then you will find a solution. Otherwise, you will just keep suffering and your suffering will be transferred to the other fellow's suffering. So, what is the right mindset? And the right mindset will be generated through this, I am telling you. There is another sloka in Narayaneeyam I am reminded. Shruti smritibhyam vihita vratadayaha punanti papam na lunanti vasanam ananta sevatu nikrintati dvayim iti prabho purusha bhashire. Shruti smritibhyam vihita vratadayaha punanti. You may have some disease, you may get it cured. These vratas may be there, you may be able to overcome some papa which you have done. But the attitude to engage in the right things and get rid of papa once and for all cannot be done by this. Shruti smritibhyam vihita vratadayaha punanti papam nalunanti vasanam. The medical can cure you, but if you are a healthy person, there is no need to go to doctor. That is what this can bless. Punanti papam nadunanti vasanam. It is the vasana of this person which makes this person engage in things which is likely to make him accrue diseases also. If you further analyze, you will see today the doctors have also started thinking along these lines. Punanti papam nalunanti vasanam. On the other hand, ananta sevatu nikrintati dvayim. The papa will also be gone, the tendency to do papa will also be gone. Your thinking will be set right. So that is the blessing that we seek from Ishvara. Ananta sevatu nikrintati dvayim iti prabho purusha bhashire. So these are things that we need to learn. So recently, I tell you for example, so since they were talking about the youngsters, it is extremely important that the Satvasana, Tamil ella theriyumalla or Pazhamazhi undu, maybe it is there in Malayalam also. 5 விளையாதது 50 விளையாது. 5 விளையாதது 50 விளையாது means what you cannot generate or inculcate at the age of 5 cannot be generated at the age of 50. Therefore, it is extremely important for them to be exposed to this. So, exposure is something which is very easy when we are young. So, it is extremely important. I would just request once again from my side, not on this side, that we should be able to, and this is something which is a great pressure. Let me tell you, any amount of wealth that you give for your children is not going to help them in life. Life is something which is extremely complicated. I just tell you, recently I had an occasion to be, just 3 weeks, 4 weeks back, I was in UK for about 10 days. There also there was a puja like this Ayyappa puja, and one person invited me to be in his house. So I went there. On the way he was just sharing that, so this is this whole area. So from somewhere you go inside, maybe 1 kilometer you go. He was saying, this all belongs to me, the entire woods. My house is somewhere inside. Then the next day was the puja. It was Sunday. Then in the evening we were discussing what are your children, etc. Late evening. They said he is studying there, but they are nearby only. Next day, as I was taken to the puja, the mother called initially the girl and then said there is a visitor and there is a puja. This was around 10:30 in the morning. Why don't you come? When the phone was lifted, I could see that the girl is just waking up on the phone call. That's okay. But then 10:30 in the morning, say no, it may be very difficult. She said only what 1 o'clock it is going to end. You can get ready and then come. No, I am not interested. Then she makes a phone call to the son. I have spoken to her. Maybe she will come, but why don't you come? So both of you can join, etc. He was a little more cut in replying. No, don't compel me. Something like that. So I could see the sadness in the face of the parents. See, the point is, if you do not generate that samskara to participate in this event, it is going to be extremely difficult for them when they reach this teenage. So, if the samskara is generated at the age of 5, 6, then it is natural for them. Whatever you teach them, there is no rational mind which comes on the way. And we are not going to teach them. It is something which has been learned over thousands of years of experience, and that is what Narayana Bhattatiri says, that attitude. This attitude should come. You have to take things in the right spirit. If you take that, then nothing can pain you. So, Suhrudaha yeir nisprahoham krataha tatkalam kriti kavya kopita katha yogesu bhogesu cha noche Krishna padaravinda bhajanam vedanta chintamapi tyaktva swashvayiti. I will permanently keep postponing and I will not have any karma to accompany me, only adharma. So when we see the suffering is all because of that. In fact, Rama says, the suffering that I am undergoing in the forest, so Rajya Pranashaha, Swajanair Viyogaha, happened, Rajya Pranashaha, Swajanair Viyogaha, now Sita Viyoga, all that has happened. He says, for this he attributes not Kaikeyi. The reason that he gives is Namadvidho Dushkrita Karmakari Manye Dvidiyosti Vasundharayam. See the attitude. Namadvidho Dushkrita Karmakari. I feel that I have committed some sins. Dushkrita Karmakari Manye Dvidiyosti Vasundharayam. शोकेन शोकोहि parampārāyā māmeti bhindan hridayam manascha. So you may have a lot of wealth, but you will not have this pleasure. So for you to have, there are 6 sukhas in this world. Let me tell you. Arthāgamo nityam arogitacha, priyacha bharya priyavadinicha, vashyascha putraha arthakanicha vidya, षड जीवलोकस्य सुखानि राजन. Arthagamaha, we need some wealth for us to survive. So there is a doha also, right? Sayi itna dijiye jame kutumba samay, मैं भी भूखा न रहूं साधु न भूखा जा. What a beautiful prayer. Bhagavan, please give me this much. Jame kutumba samay, let me feed my family. साधु न भूखा जा. So, मैं भी भूखा न रहूं साधु न भूखा जा. This is all we need to seek for. I have also seen people, I will tell you there are stories where once you are taken by greed, there is no end to it. I will tell you there is an example which is so well, I don't want to quote this name. So this is an American example. So our Indian went to America, he had $100 billion. $100 billion he had earned. But then a step of greed made him commit a certain mistake. Okay? Made him go in the wrong direction. Why? This $100 billion will give him $600 as interest. Okay, every hour. But then he had the greed to commit that mistake. That is that vasana. I am just saying. It is this Ishvara. So Sayi Itna Dijiye, he would have been very happy. He spoiled his name, completely finished. All that went. So therefore it is very, very important for us to just ensure that we don't encourage these things. And this Parayana, I am just telling you, is one of the ways by which we invoke the grace of Ishvara. The grace of Ishvara does not come in other ways. There is only one way in which the grace of Ishvara comes, let me tell you. And this has been beautifully stated by someone called Neelakantha Somayaji. He was a 15th century astronomer. In one place he says, Devata prasadaha mati vaimalya hetureva. What is Devata prasada? Mati vaimalya hetu. So it eradicates the wrong thoughts in my mind and provides the right clarity of thought to take things as they come. So this is what is Devata prasada. So this Devata prasada is something which is, that is why I said Punanti papam na lunanti vasana. Vasana is basically the impressions that we carry. So this vasana has to be set right. And this vasana is what made Bhattatiri think like this. I will just give you just one or two verses from the later part of Narayaneeyam, and I will conclude here. In one place, whether you have, this is very, very important for us to understand. Whether you have a certain attitude to participate or not, but never ever you should encourage a thought where we have indifference towards this, or an attitude which is going to go against these activities. So there it is very, very important. I am sure that many of you don't have, but there may be people in your family who may have. That is why I am just saying, we don't need to treat them as dveshis. We need to just take them on the right spirit which will help us to have more devotion. Okay, this happens in various places. That's why I am saying. Now, Papoyam Krishna Rame Yabhilapati Nijam Bhuhitum Dushcharitram Nirlajjasyasya Vacha Bahutara Kathani Anime Vignitani Bhrata me Vandhyashilaha Bhajati kila budhan Bhajati kila sada Vishnu Uttham budhamste. This is in 92, 92nd Dashaka. He says, Papoyam. So Narayana Bhattacharya says his brother was like this. What did his brother do? He was criticizing. Ayam Papaha. This fellow has committed lot of sins. Krishna Rametya Bhilapati. As long as in your family people don't say this, you should be happy. But even if they say this, you should be more devoted. Papoyam Krishna Rametya Bhilapati. Why is he doing that? Nijam Guhitum Dushcharitram. In order to hide the kind of sins that he has committed, he has taken this Vesha and then he is doing this. Nirlajjasyasya vacha. Shamelessly he is criticizing me like this. Nirlajjasyasya vacha bahutara kathaniyani me vignitani. Bahutara kathaniyani means so much I had to say, but because I am doing this, the fellow says, because this fellow is doing bhajan, I wanted to discuss various things in family, so this is something which is an obstacle for me. This is how that fellow is saying. Bahutara kathaniyani me vignitani. But bhrata me vandhyashilaha bhajati kila sada vishnu mitham budhamste. So he finally says, so never ever at least save me from this kind of thoughts. Never ever allow me to fall trap into that kind of thing. So today I am saying this because if you do not make them appreciate the worth of this, then these children will start ridiculing this because some other thought comes and pollutes their mind. Okay? So that is the significance of saying this verse. So this is something which may be there at some point also, there may be one or two, but today there are hundreds of people, even in our institutions. See, I will tell you, there are various institutions which try to brainwash people. Okay, that these are all meaningless, stupid things. So therefore, it is very important for us to make the right thought get into their mind. See, why are these people even coming and bombing these madrasas? They are only trying to make those fellows think that they are achieving something great, right? By ridiculing this, these people think that they are achieving something great. So before this happens, we should try to save them. Okay? So this is why even during Narayana Bhattacharya's time. Now, let me just share only two verses. This is something which is an inspired work, as all of us know. See, sometimes people try to put all their efforts to come up with something. Here, this is something which has been coming out of his mouth. It is an amazing literature, let me tell you, in Sanskrit. There is hardly any literature which can beat this Narayaneeyam in terms of poetic beauty as well as in terms of the substance. This is an essence of Bhagavata, as all of us know. So in one Dashaka towards the end he says, maybe 94. Tvatkarunye pravritte kaiva nahi guruhu lokavritte vibhuman sarvakranta hi bhumini nahi chalati tatas sakshamam shikshayeyam गृह्णीयामीश तत्तद्विषय परिचयेऽप्यप्रसक्तिं समीरात् व्याप्तत्वं चात्मनो मे गगनगुरुवशात् भातु निर्लेपता च. The secretary asked me to tell why we should learn and why we should learn the meaning. So it is for this purpose I am just saying. So there were general principles I said, but this entire Dashaka talks of so many gurus. He says, Svatkarunye pravritte. Once your divine grace has taken over me, Svatkarunye pravritte kaiva nahi guruhu lokavritte vibhuman. Hey Bhuman, lokavritte, in my day-to-day dealings, who cannot be my guru? So from whom can I not take lessons? So it is taking the lesson that is important in life. So various events keep happening. Some people take wrong lessons, some people take right lessons. Okay? So what lesson you take is what is important. So he says, Kaiva nahi guruhu lokavrittepi bhuman. The first lesson that you have to take is from Prithvi. Sarvakranta hi bhumihi nahi chalati tatas sakshamam shikshayeyam. Sarvakranta means this bhumi, just imagine there is today when you go to deep ecology, there is something called ecology, where the earth itself is conceived as a living planet. Please understand this. So a living being means something continuously changes and it perishes, right? In a large scale, this also will happen for the earth. Now, sarvakranta hi bhumihi nahi chalati. Okay, it does not, so whether you dig or you make deep borewell. Shamam shikshayeyam. May I learn how to be patient from the earth. This is very important. Suppose somebody abuses you. So you get so unhappy. My day is spoiled, I am so depressed, etc. Why? If he says something which is not in you, just ignore it. If it is there, you correct yourself. Why are you getting angry? Why are you getting disturbed? Nahi chalati tatas sakshamam shikshayeyam. Grinhiyam isha tattat vishaya parichayepi. It is very important again. Tattat vishaya parichaye. It is not necessary that we will be undergoing situations which are likely to be making us happy. Many situations will be making us unhappy, it is undesirable. But then what should we do? Grinhiyam isha tattat vishaya parichayepi aprasaktim samirat. Samira means wind. Just imagine the wind, it goes into a rose garden, it picks up that smell. It enters into a fish market, it may take that smell. It goes somewhere else, it may pick up some smell, but then it drops and goes, right? It doesn't carry it. So too, we should be able to forget all things and then move on in life. Grinhiyami satatad vishaya paritayepi aprasaktim. I am saying this because there are many people who just get, even in London, one lady was saying, this event happened, that has stuck into my mind, I am unable to come out. You should come out. It is only for this we need all this. See, whether it is sticking to your mind, so right things have to be sticking, wrong things have to be gotten rid of. How does this happen? It happens only through blessing. That is why we seek the blessing of Ishvara. It is not completely in our hands. The very process has the ability to do this, and that we are able to see in many Mahans in our life. So that is why it is said, Grinhiyam isha tattat vishaya parichaye prasaktim samirat vyaptatvancha atmano me. Atmanaha vyaptatvam means, see, we live in this body. This body is like a guest house for us. I am telling you. This body itself is just like guest house. You live for some time and this Atma is Nitya. We live here for some time. You don't bother much about what is happening in the guest house, right? Because it is not yours. You just live and then go. This is how we have to learn. So this is a very important thing for us to understand. This is a fundamental philosophy that only Hindu literature can provide. There is a lot of advantage because I gave a talk, in fact, birth, death and rebirth from a clinician's viewpoint and from the viewpoint of philosophy. You can take any viewpoint, but there are certain viewpoints which help you to shape yourself better, to shape the society better. So this viewpoint is something which we need to understand, that has been presented. It has a lot of meaning. It is just like this only. So then we will not be too much attached to this deha. Okay? That is why he says, no, hi me deha moham tyaja pavana puradhisha yat prema heto ehe vitte kalatra nipucha vivashitaha padam vismaranti. So grinhiyam isha tattat vishaya parichaye pyaprasaktim samirat vyaptatvancha atmano me gagana guruvashat bhatu nirlepatacha. Similarly, Swachhasyam pavanoham madhura udakam vanhivan masma grinham sarvanninopi dosham karushu tamivamam sarvabhuteshvaveyam pushtir nashtik kalanam shashinaiva tanoho natmanosti vidyam toyadi vyasta martandavalapicha kanushvekatam tvatprasadat. Swachhasyam pavanoham. What a beautiful example. If the water is pure, then you dip this cloth into the water, the dirt in the cloth will go into the water. If the water is impure, you put this cloth, dirt in water will come to this. Similarly, if you are pure, you will be able to generate purity in others, enable them to get rid of mala. If you are impure, then that is all. So it is very important for purity in mind. Swachhasyam pavanoham madhura budakavat. And if you are a pure person, then that will be radiating from your face and people will like to join you. Pavanoham madhura budakavat, they will love you. Vanhivan masma grinham. Second, vanhivan. See, the fire may burn this wood, may burn that wood, may burn rubber, may burn something else. But the fire does not pick up the dosha of the rubber or the goodness of the sandalwood. Similarly, we have to be. Vanhivan masma grinham sarvanninopi dosham. The another thing that we have to learn is Karushu tamivamam sarvabhuteshvaveyam. May I know Tarushu tam hiva. The fire is dormant. It is not something which is evidently seen. Tarushu tamivamam sarvabhuteshvaveyam. May I know that it is the same Atman which is dwelling in every being, just like the fire. The fire is not seen, but once you churn, you will be able to get that. Similarly, the Atman is not seen, but once you start thinking, you will be able to understand where the Atman is. Because I keep saying I, right? Whether you are 5 years old, or 25 years old, or 85 years old, you say the same I. The Sharira has undergone changes. So there is some other being which we call as Atman, which we are referring to by the notion of I. So Grinhiyam Isa Tattat. So this, see, Vanhivan Masma Grinham Sarvanninopi Dosham Tarushu Tamivamam Sarvabhuteshvaveyam. This is a beautiful thing. May I understand that it is the same Atman which is dwelling in every being. If you understand this, then you will be caring for every other being. It is very natural. You don't need to be taught to care for yourself. Nobody needs to be taught to care for themselves. So if you understand it is the same Atman which is dwelling, then naturally the care flows. So that is why he is saying Sarvabhuteshvaveyam. There are many people, this is the last thing that I am going to say. Most people are bothered about their looks. This sometimes generates superiority complex, sometimes generates inferiority complex. Both should be gotten rid of. That is why he is saying Pushtir nashti kalanam shashinaiva tanoho. Tanoho means this physical body. This physical body is something which we did not choose. The color of this body is not chosen by us. The length of the nose is not chosen by you. It is something which is given to you. Where you are born is given to you. Your ability to grasp things is also given to you. So and therefore there is no reason to feel that I have achieved so many things in life. It is all given to you. Even the situation in which we are put is also given to us if we think deeply. So, Pushtir Nashti Kalanam Shashina, beautiful example. The example is like the Chandra. You see the Chandra is a small piece. So this Chandra Bimba, it just grows, it just decreases, right? As the crescent of the moon increases and decreases, so too anything that comes to this physical body is something which is not to the Chaitanya within, it is only to the body. The moon is like always one and the same, but it is the sight of the moon which changes. Therefore, it is very important for people to understand that there is no reason for us to feel that I am superior or inferior because of this body. Okay, many people have this complex, and the entire industry is flourishing. Okay, the cosmetic industry. No need for all this. Ishvara has given us, it has taken. Pushtir nasti kalanam sasinaiva tanoho natmanosti iti vidyam soyari yasta martandavadapisha tanushu ekatam tvatprasadaha. This is what is important. So tvatprasadatu, by your blessing, may understand it is the same self which is dwelling in all beings. Once we develop this, there is a great advantage, let me tell you. We will start caring initially for our family, then it will extend to other things, other beings, and therefore it is important that we make people learn this. Later they will be able to understand the meaning, and they will be able to shape their lives better. And the lives, individual lives, once they are changed, the entire society will change. That is what I think he is praying for, the secretary and all others. That is what most of us pray for. So bring young people so that they are exposed to this treasure. Thank you. Namaste.
Sarvebhyo namo namah. Sarvesham Hriday Suprabhadam Shubhodinam cha. ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ സംബന്ധിതരായിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി പ്രകാശനം ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് എൻ്റെ കടമ. ആദ്യമായിട്ട് നന്ദി പറയേണ്ടത് ആചാര്യൻ പ്രൊഫസർ രാമസുബ്രഹ്മണ്യൻ സാറിനോടാണ്. നമ്മുടെ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് സാറിവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവാറേ ഇല്ല ഭാരതത്തില്. ഒരു ദിവസം വളരെ യാദൃശ്ചികമായിട്ട് ഞാൻ ശ്രമിച്ച് അന്വേഷിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ പോവയിൽ അവിടെ ആളെ കിട്ടിയില്ല. ഞാൻ വാരണാസിയിലാണ് സാറിനെ എയർപോർട്ടിൽ വെച്ച് കണ്ടത്. ഒരു മാർച്ച് 1-ാം തീയതി. അന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എയർപോർട്ടിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് സാർ നമ്മുടെ പരിപാടിക്ക് വരണം. ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് സാറിവിടെ എത്തി. ധന്യവാദ. ഭഗവത് രൂപം മഹാത്മ്യം മുതൽ കേശാദിപാദ വർണ്ണനം വരെ 3 ദശകങ്ങളും സാറ് സംക്ഷിപ്തമായിട്ട് നമുക്കിപ്പോ കഴിഞ്ഞ 40-45 മിനിറ്റ് പറഞ്ഞു തന്നു. എത്രത്തോളം നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞാലും സാർ മതിയാവില്ല. ധന്യവാദം സാർ. അതുകൂടാതെ നമ്മുടെ ഇവിടെ സന്നിഹിതരായിരിക്കുന്ന അമ്മമാരും ഭഗിനിമാരും ഏതാണ്ട് 300ഓളം പേര് പാരായണത്തിന് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ 33 ടീം ആയിട്ട് അവർക്ക് ആശംസകൾ നേരുന്നു, അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ നേരുന്നു, അവരോട് നന്ദിയും പറയുന്നു. അവരാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ കാര്യപരിപാലനയുടെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ശക്തി. അവർക്ക് നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. അതുകൂടാതെ ഈ വേദിയിലിരിക്കുന്ന വിശിഷ്ടാദികള്, കേരളീയ ക്ഷേത്ര പരിപാലന സമിതിയുടെ നമ്മുടെ കാര്യകർത്താക്കള്, മിനി ശബരിമല ഈ ഒരു സ്ഥാനത്തെ വൈകുണ്ഠമാക്കുക നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് നാരായണീയ പാരായണീയം ചൊല്ലി. അപ്പൊ ഈ മിനി ശബരിയുടെ കാര്യകർത്താക്കള്, പ്രസിഡന്റ് വത്സേഷി, നമ്മുടെ സെക്രട്ടറി സുരേഷ് സർ, പ്രസിഡന്റ്, അതുകൂടാതെ സൈലന്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഇതിന്റെ പിന്നിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഒത്തിരി കാര്യകർത്താക്കളുണ്ട്. അവർക്കെല്ലാം നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. മറ്റ് അമ്പലങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് വന്ന ഭാരവാഹികള്, മാനേജിംഗ് ട്രസ്റ്റി മെമ്പേഴ്സ്, പിന്നെ അതുപോലെ ട്രസ്റ്റീസ്, അവർക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ചിവിടെ വന്നിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ വിശിഷ്ടാദികൾക്കും ഞാൻ ഓരോരുത്തരുടെ പേരെടുത്ത് പറയുന്നില്ല, എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊള്ളുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഒരു ക്ഷേത്ര സന്നിധിയിൽ ഇത്ര ഒരു മഹത് കാര്യക്രമം നടക്കുകയാണ്. എല്ലാവർക്കും പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും ആശംസകളും അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങളും നേരുന്നു. ധന്യവാദ. ശുഭദിനം.